No audio.
I'm sure Rich is troubleshooting.
Okay, I'm going to try this once
Colton,
more.
come ring the bell.
Morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll begin our service with the ringing of the bell and the lighting of the Christ candle.
Come over here. Okay, let go. Go back to your seat. Go back to your seat.
Thank you, kids, and thank you, Phil. You will find our opening statement on the inside of your bulletin. This reminds us of the truth of our being. So repeat that with me, please, together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good. It's off now. So sit with that truth for just a moment. And now repeat it with me once more. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And so it is. Our songs this morning are led by Ron and accompanied by Jeff.
Good morning. Would you please stand? We'll sing Surely the Presence right inside your front cover. First of all, we're going to sing it all together one time, and then the second time, everybody on this side, on my side over here, is going to sing with me, okay? And everybody on Nancy's side will sing with Nancy. So this is not a competition, but we want you all to be heard, okay? So all together. Love. trickling down. You know what to do. Seek and ye shall find.
We are ready to rock that love today. We are. Okay. Welcome to Unity of Kanawha Valley. Do we have any first-time visitors today? Everyone's family? Okay, great. Well, we're so happy that you decided to share your energy with us today, whether it's in person, on Zoom, or whether you're watching later. We are so grateful that you are with us. After the service, you can go into the church Zoom room. The ID for that is 304-345-0021. The password is 1111, and you can access that through the Zoom app that's on your phone or your computer, and you can join with the people who watch us on Zoom. They always have a lively discussion every Sunday, and you are welcome to join. On Thursday nights at 8 o'clock, in that same Zoom room, there is a book study group, and starting on August 1st, they will be discussing the book, The Dalai Lama's Cat. I've never heard of that book, but I'm sure it's wonderful. And our Unravel class, which is a journaling and discussion group, meets the last Tuesday of the month. That will be July 30th, downstairs in the activity room at 5:15. Let Barbie Dahlman know if you are planning to come so that she can arrange the room for everyone who plans to be there. And now, Most importantly and most excitingly, our hot dog sales are back. July 27th, that's this Saturday, we'll be having a hot dog sale. Of course, we need volunteers, so I'm going to pass this around. If you haven't signed up, sign up so we know who's going to be there and let us know what you'd like to do. We have all sorts of spots to fill, from setting up to manning the grill to being a smiling face to eating a hot dog. Yeah, so this money that is raised from this hot dog sale goes straight to help pay down our mortgage. And our goal is to have our mortgage paid down by October. Or no later than the end of the year, but hopefully by October. So you can support that effort simply by coming out and eating a hot dog. And I understand that New Hope Animal Rescue will be there. Is that right, Danny? Wait. We want the people on Zoom to be able to hear you. So let me get you a microphone here. Okay, Danny.
New Hope is scheduled to be here and bring plenty of pretty little pups. And everybody bring their appetite.
How many hot dogs are you going to eat, Danny?
I think I can outdo, what's his name? Joey Chestnut. Let's see if anybody can beat him.
Okay, so Danny's throwing down the gauntlet there. Can anybody beat Joey Chestnut at eating hot dogs? But it's always a good time. It's a great way to bond as a community as well as to help pay down our mortgage. Well, that is all the announcements I have for today. So I'm going to turn it over to David for our welcome.
Thank you. Oops. So, good morning and welcome. My name is David Getman, and I serve you as a member of your Board of Trustees here at Unity of Kanawha Valley. And some of this I'm just going to punctuate what Janet has already said. But on behalf of Sky and the rest of the board, I'd like to sincerely welcome each of you. And thank you for making the conscious choice to join us and share our service today. Whether it's here in person or on Zoom or later on YouTube, you have a lot of choices of what you could do with your time, and you've chosen to spend it with us, and for that, we are grateful. Our guest speaker today is Phil Herndon, and the title of his talk is Practical Christianity and the Kingdom of Heaven. Now, Phil notes that, quote, "There's no such thing as an atheist in the foxhole," end quote. And with Phil's military background, I'm sure this statement will have a meaningful correlation with his message. Our ultimate goal here at UKV is to create and offer a safe and welcoming environment for anyone who is looking for a place to celebrate and explore metaphysical practices centered around love and spiritual wisdom in their many forms. We have a vision. Our vision statement reads, Unity of Kanawha Valley provides a welcoming community of love, acceptance, and spiritual growth. We also have a mission. Our mission is basically to fulfill our vision. And our mission statement reads, through prayer, teaching, and service, we affirm our connection with our source and aspire to consistently make choices that align with love for one another and for ourselves. We encourage creative expression through music, art, writing, and movement. We provide a safe, peaceful, loving place, as well as resources for those who are exploring their spiritual truth. And we have a set of values that we strive to use to guide us during our mission to achieve our vision. Those values are love, acceptance, connection, spiritual growth, creativity, affirmation, and prayer. And if you ever want to review those or read them, they're on the back of the bulletin. The key is that unity respects the right of each person to choose their own spiritual path. So, if there's anything in our service today worth remembering for you and using in your life, please take it with our blessing and our gratitude. And if there's anything that doesn't work, just leave it behind. Belief in the power of positive, affirmative prayer is one of the rocks that unity is built on. It's the concept that the light of God and the spirit of love is within each of us, and that by praying, by meditating, by going within and resting within, we can discover this love that's inside us all. And this love is the source of all life and everything there is in the universe. Since prayer is a central part of what unity in UKV is all about, let's do that now. If you would, please close your eyes or soften your gaze if that's comfortable. Take a deep breath. Let yourself gently smile and say to yourself, I am a fountain of love. Love flows out of me. I am a fountain of love. Love flows out of me. Now imagine you are touching and looking at someone you love. Look them in the eye and let your gratitude for them fill your heart as you say to them, thank you for teaching me how to love. Thank you for teaching me how to love. Now open your eyes and stand, turn to somebody nearby, greet them, and say, thank you for loving me today. Thank you for loving me today. Okay, Hugfest is over. Again, I want to thank each of you for being here today. And please remember that every small thing that you do makes a difference in the world we are all helping to create. I'd like to thank everyone who's made this service possible. Sky, Pam, Board of Trustees, our wonderful prayer chaplains, Ron, and all the talented musicians he brings, the audio-visual team in North Carolina and here in Charleston, and the landscapers, who are also the guardians of the monarch butterfly haven out here, the waypoint on the way to Mexico. I'd also like to specifically thank the junior bell ringer or ringers today. Who? Colton? Violet. Okay, I didn't see Violet's head back there. Okay, Colton and Violet. And we heard Phil counting, and we know he can count up to 11 now. I want to thank God, who is the source of all life and love, for giving us the gift of another day to live this spiritual journey. Always keep in mind that this day is a gift, and our only appropriate response is gratefulness. In closing, I'd like to encourage you to spend some time in silence every day, and encourage you to consider that God is your source, and to consider that you can be guided by lessons of universal peace and love taken from the teachings of Jesus and other spiritual masters. Always remember that the pen is in your hand to write your own script. And a new day, God's gift, is dawning for us all. Now I'd like to invite today's prayer chaplain, Sherry, to lead us in meditation, please.
Okay, that's okay. Good morning and namaste. As I said, I'm Sherry, and it is my honor to be here. I'm going to lead you today in a meditation that I like to think of as a practical meditation. This is called the serene mind, and it's how to go from the flight or fight part of your brain to the serene part of your brain, especially when things are difficult or when you want to just sort of relax in the presence of the divine. So if this resonates with you, I invite you please to take it with you. I'm available through the phone call if you want to know more about it or need a refresher. If it doesn't resonate with you, please leave it behind. And with that, I invite each of you to close your eyes. Concentrate on your breathing. We'll take 3 or 4 deep breaths to breathe relaxation in and stress out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pay attention to your body as you breathe. Notice any tension in your arms, your legs, your feet, your neck, your jaw. When you breathe out the stress. Breathe in, breathe out. Now I invite invite each of you to pay attention to what you're feeling right now. Sometimes life is difficult and it's hard to let go of things, so you might be feeling a sensation of stress, perhaps anxiety, sadness, whatever that might be that sometimes life can bring on. Or it might be that you are feeling deep serenity, deep prayer, the presence of the divine. Just experience whatever that feeling is in the moment as you continue to breathe and relax. Now I invite you, as you've identified that feeling, figure out where that feeling lives in time. Is it a feeling that comes from something in your past? Is it perhaps a feeling about something that is to occur in the future that might be causing you a little dis-ease? Is it a feeling of something going on in the present? That could be gratitude, it could be a recent conversation residue that you had with somebody. It could be anything. So with that, take a moment, reflect on the feeling and where it lives in time. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. I invite you now to focus in on the center of your forehead, where you might think of that third eye living. Pay attention to that feeling as you breathe in and breathe out. As you focus in on the center of your forehead, I invite you now to envision a small light. It can be any light you choose. It can be a small ember, perhaps a candle flame. Perhaps you see the God of the divine. Focus in on that light before you. See it clearly. Own that light as your own. Breathe in. Breathe out. See the light. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now I invite you to take that light that you see clearly and move it from the center of your forehead back to the center of your brain between your ears. Feel the light. There is no discomfort, only warmth and glow from your personal light. Sit with that feeling of the light in your brain for just a moment and experience the tranquility that it brings. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the tranquility that that light brings to you. Breathe in, breathe out. Now I ask you to gently bring your physical sensation back into the room. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Namaste. And with that, I think that Sharon's going to come up and do the daily word.
Today's daily word is valuable. As a divine being, I am valuable and irreplaceable. Each person is a spiritual being, made in the image and likeness of God, blessed with a variety of spiritual gifts we share in different ways. The world needs my unique contributions. When I see myself this way, I become newly aware of my value as a member of the human family, more confident in myself as I shine the light of God as only I can. Living in the awareness of my value helps others see it too. I leave behind critical or negative opinions I may have held about myself and treat myself as the divine being that I am. Like a beautiful gemstone, I too am a precious jewel among so many others. Together, we sparkle and shine. And from Genesis 1, verse 27, so God created humankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them.
This is a song written by one of my favorite songwriters, Peter Mayer. When I was a boy, each week on Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest, and on to read this holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the seas in two. Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still. And now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but even though better magic trick is anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. Now I walk with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Again. Questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. That would be very hard to say. And see another morning come and say it's not a sacrament. I tell you it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second rain hand me down. Now I'm walking with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
Oh, thank you, Ron and Jeff. That was beautiful. Well, today I am privileged to be introducing our guest speaker, Phil Herndon. I think the first time I laid eyes on Phil, he said, "How can I help?" And David and Pam, and I don't know who all else was, they were attempting to place the hot dog sale sign up like they did this morning. And I said, well, they're trying to hang this sign, and Phil went and helped. And so that's when I think of Phil. He has always stepped up to help. He serves as a board member. He is dad to Colton and Violet. And today he's going to speak to us. And I know I've got the topic here somewhere. I saw it earlier. Well, I know it's about practical Christianity. So please welcome Phil Herndon.
Thank you. Are we good, Chris? Yeah, we're good. So before we start, I want to ask for a little bit of special prayer for JoJo back there as she does kid wrangling while I'm up here. And then also, I've got one other special request for prayers, and I'll get through that in just a second. So I was born and raised. I was born in Germany. I was raised all over southern Oklahoma, moved around my entire life, lived in Georgia. And something that Janet said a couple weeks ago really stuck with me. So I've been a sports fan because every Monday morning when I would go to work, all my fellow soldiers, we would all sit there and talk about football. But I didn't have a home team. So I grew to like the teams that my friends supported. And one of my dear friends is a die-hard Jets fan. And I get angry when the Jets lose for no other reason than they've let him down. And I know Janet's going to need some prayers this year. All right, we'll go Browns because go Janet. So I wanted to, in my earlier roots, I grew up Southern Baptist, just found my own way into the church, and I'm just going to do some narrative while I pull up my own documents here. And one of the things that we always did was we did our our testimony, and we talked about our spiritual journey. And don't even tell me it's not here. It's okay. I can do this because it's my testimony. So I wanted to talk to you guys about my spiritual journey. Recently, I had an opportunity to do some studies on behalf of the church, and while I was going through, I found the term practical Christianity. And I was trying to figure out, what is practical Christianity? Just throwing that word at the beginning just stumped me. Just like all gears ground to a halt, what is it? So what is practical Christianity? We know Christianity is. So I looked back in my history and I was like, well, how would I apply practical Christianity? So this story has about 4 different parts, and it has an AV section. We'll get to the AV section here in just a little bit. But I'm going to tell you a story. It's a war story because that's a significant chunk of my life. And we're going to play a video from a day in one of my tours in Iraq. For those that are on Zoom, it is muted specifically because language is not appropriate for church. And what you're about to see is an attack on the base that I was stationed at in January 3rd, 2011 in Kalsu, Iraq. And what you're going to see is all the explosions that go on. This was one day out of a year-long tour that I was there. And Danny, let me know when you're ready. He's going to move the camera over to the TV so that we can... We're panning. Okay, we're good. So the first section was a section filmed by soldiers, and you're going to see them start to run. You can see the smoke in the air from some of the explosions, and then it won't be long before they're all taken off across. And the next section of the video you're actually going to see is a video from the terrorist camera that we caught, and that's the launch. Launch in slow motion added for effect. And those are the detonations. Air burst, ground burst. This is just one day. You're not going to see the large detonation, but you're going to see the smoke cloud from it. Each of those smaller ones is several hundred pounds of explosives. And then it's going to pan over here in just a second to, that's the smoke cloud from the explosion. It hit our ammunition storage area, and all of that ammunition blew up as well. And that ammunition scattered across the base and caused about 45 minutes of further detonations as that was on fire and burned and blew up. Not one soul was hurt that day. Not one. We had a lot of people that slept in the bunkers after that day. There's a lot of people that were really scared. And it was a pretty emotional event. That was one day. We did this easily 100 days out of the year that I was there. One particular day, we had another huge rocket attack, and there was, the radar picked it up, everybody went into warning, and we didn't hear any explosions. All we just heard was thuds, just doom, doom, doom. And all of those rockets hit dead center in the middle of their fob, or in the middle of our base. Not one single one went off. And I went over and I took a look at some of the holes and some of the damage, because that was part of my job back then. And I looked, and in the middle of the housing area where everybody was home today, there was a hole in the middle of the ground where that rocket had hit the ground and just kept going. It would have caused massive casualties had it detonated. So that was the day that I witnessed God's hand. And that was the day that I affirmed that there are no atheists in a foxhole. And thank you, David, for that one. We knew that it would tie around to it. So during attacks like that, the units will bring in chaplains, and they'll bring in ministers, and they'll bring in people to talk, and we'll bring in counselors. So I was sitting there and I was talking to a counselor, and we spent hours because everybody else was done, and I just sat there and I talked to him and long into the night about my personal beliefs and how I had problems reconciling the Bible and what I've seen and what I've witnessed. And he says, "You've read the Bible?" And I said, "I've tried. There's some parts of it are just kind of rough to get through, and some parts of it you read right through. There's just nice little stories." He says, "I'm going to introduce you to a book. It's the Bible, but it's kind of been worked over." And for those of you in the audience, has anyone ever heard of the Jeffersonian Bible? From me. Okay, so Thomas Jefferson, one of our founding fathers, edited the Bible. And it's called the Jeffersonian Bible. And the chaplain introduced this to me, and this is the only cuss word I'm going to use. So I asked for permission earlier, but he said, "Phil, I'm going to tell you about this book, but I'm going to use it in language that you use." He said, "It's the book about the teachings of Jesus, and it's the book about how to be a good man, but without all that other unbelievable crap in it." He didn't use word crap. So I started reading the Jeffersonian Bible, and that was a beginning of a new birth of my spiritual journey. It's a wonderful book, and it's just a book on how to be a better person. It's all the teachings of Christ. It's all the positive letters, and it's still the Bible. We don't wander around quoting the entire book all day. We all wander around quoting our own special books. This is a whole collection full of quote-worthy material. So now we're going to fast forward a little bit later on in my life. Before Violet was born, I was working on figuring out how to move here, talking through all that stuff. I was on one of my trips here, and if any of you remember Gina, she was like, "Hey, I want to take you down to this little hippie church I know, and let you meet all the nicest people ever." But I mean, we're kind of hippie, but we're the nicest people. And I came here and I fell in love with the place. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the music. I fell in love with the speaker, the welcome, the format, everything about this church matched with everything I have ever known to be true. So here we are. So we've covered practical Christianity. We talked about the Jeffersonian Bible and about how to be a good man. It matches a lot with the unity principles of, God and love and just be good to each other. And here we stand up every week and we don't judge each other for our tattoos or our ink or our orientation or anything. Here, we just say hello and I love you and thank you for being with me on the journey. That's all we do. This is the greatest church I've ever been a part of. So now, this kind of brings me to the next portion of our message, which is the kingdom of heaven part. So, part of me and my brain and how it works, I have problems reconciling, that I've got to do all these great works to die and then go visit the kingdom of heaven. It's what I've been taught my entire life. But what if we just change the paradigm a little bit? Just a little bit. And we realize that we're in it now. And that this is the kingdom of heaven. And if we just treat each other good and we clean up and we pick up that piece of trash that we see walking across the parking lot, maybe there's something else that's even better. But I don't know anybody who can watch me and my kids for more than 5 minutes and know that I'm not already in heaven. I watch David and Mary Ann, and I look at, I see decades of true love. I've seen loss, I've seen life, I've seen growth, I've seen all this just right here. Just these 30, 40, 50 people we see week in and week out. This is a wonderful place to be, and that's why I'm here. That's why I chose to be here. That's why I stay here. That's why my children are going to be raised here in this church. And that's why I'm going to continue to come back. My notes are gone. And I'm staring at a blank document, but I think I've for the most part gotten through every main aspect of my message, and I talked to you guys. So I want you to just take a pause and realize the blessings that you have, and realize the kindness that you have shown me, and the kindness that I want to show you as we all grow older together. And we watch Violet and hopefully Colton grow up here. I really do love this place. I can't say one single thing bad about it. I look forward to Danny's hot dog sales, and I look forward to Peggy and Janet greeting us every morning. And now I'm going to circle back to the beginning because I got so caught up on missing my notes. The music, Ron, Jeff, oh my God, every week, week in, week out, nailing it for the troops. I'm with the board every week or every month, and every month we are sitting here trying to we come down in the basement and we just hammered out on how to make the church even better. And that, like, we're already great, and we just want to be better. And we talk about being better for us and being better for you. And remember, it's the people. The church is the people. And we do our best to take care of the building, and we do the best to take care of everything around, but we've got to take care of the people. We've got to take care of our own congregation. So I want to close with the words that I was welcomed here with.
I'm just going to say, thank you for being with me on this journey.
Thank you, Phil, for the wonderful reminder of what a wonderful place this is. Unity of Kanawha Valley is a tithing church. That means that 10% of everything we take in goes out to bless others. And this month, our tithe is going to New Hope Animal Rescue. And they will have some puppies and kittens here on Saturday at the hot dog sale, so you can check out the wonderful work they do. And now I'm going to invite Sherry and the ushers up for our offering blessing. Okay. How may I help you?
When the ushers beat me up here. Okay. Would everybody, sorry, I need a third hand. Would everybody please join me in the offering blessing? Divine love moving in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love. I trust God, and I am grateful.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Now put a little love in your heart.
Another day goes by, and still the children cry.
Take a good look around. If you're feeling down,
Put a little love in your heart.
and I hope that you decide kindness will be your guide.
Put a little love in your heart.
And the world
And the world,
will be a better place. And the world
and the world.
will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Come on. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Yeah. Put a little love in your. Come on, Jeff. Put a little love in your heart. Come on, Jeff. Put a little love in your heart. Come on, everybody. Put your hands together. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Whoa, now. Put a little love in your heart. Whoa, now. Put a little love in your heart. 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 Now put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Come on now.
Just me being clumsy. Thank you. Thank you. Divine Creator, you permeate each cell within us with your truth, with your love, with your joy. And we are so grateful that the kingdom of God is indeed here. We thank you for each person here, for their love, for their generosity of their time and their hearts and their treasures. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. And before I turn the microphone over, I'm just reminding everybody, I will be in the back of the church if anybody can be supported in prayer or a blessing today. Thank you.
So let's make a circle for our peace song. I don't know of any birthdays or anniversaries or celebrations. Anybody? Let's welcome Laura back for a week or two from Indiana. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and do our peace song then.